Inside a small, warm kitchen filled with the aroma of simmering stew, 4-year-old Amara Adeyemi stood on a wooden stool, watching her mother cook. She watched with the sharp focus of someone far older than her age. Suddenly, she shook her head. "Mama, you are doing it wrong," she said calmly. Mama Yatun paused, surprised. "Wrong how?" "You're supposed to add the uziza last," Amara said, pointing. "And the pepper, you're adding it too early. My husband never liked it that way." Her mother froze. "You're what?" "My husband," the little girl repeated as if it were the most normal thing in the world. "He likes his stew in a special way. I always cook it for him. You're making it too watery." Mama Yatun frowned. "Amara, who taught you all this?" Amara wiped her tiny hands on her dress and spoke with the confidence of a woman running a home. "I learned it in my other life, before I came here. That was the beginning." Over the next days, then weeks, Amara kept speaking with the same unsettling clarity. She talked about a town she had never visited, Ife. She described a cloth shop, customers, neighbors, and the daily habits of a man she called her husband. "I want to go home," she would say often, her small face filled with longing. "I miss my children, my boys, and my little girl. They will be worried." At first, her parents told themselves it was imagination. Children made up stories all the time. But Amara's stories were too detailed, too consistent, too real. By age 7, she knew things no one around her could have taught her. She described giving birth, pain, sweat, fear, details a child should not even understand. She described the moment she died. "I was tired," she whispered one evening as she sat outside on a wooden stool. "The baby came, but something tore inside me. I tried to hold my daughter. Everything became quiet, then dark." Her parents stared at her in shock. Not once did she change a detail. Not once did she stumble. One day at school, her teacher, Mrs. Olabasai, asked her gently, "You said your husband's name is Chief. Who?" "Chief Alyamide Balagan," Amara replied confidently. "His shop is in Ife, near the big tree beside the market square." The teacher wrote down the details and sent a letter. Weeks later, a reply came. The handwriting trembled. Everything Amara had said was true. Chief Alyamide Balagan existed. He owned the cloth shop. His wife had died in childbirth 10 years earlier, the same year Amara was born. They had 3 children. But the chief was cautious. He sent his cousin to test the girl, asking him to pretend to be him. When the cousin entered the Adeyemi home, Amara looked at him and shook her head. "You are not my husband," she said firmly. "You are his cousin. You used to come to the shop in the evenings." The cousin staggered back, shaken. She described family arguments, private matters, money issues, things only the late wife could have known. When he returned to Ife, he told Chief Alyamide, "Something strange is happening there. You need to go yourself." When the chief arrived secretly in Oyo, he didn't introduce himself. He wanted to see if the girl would recognize him. Amara did. The moment their eyes met, she froze. Her lips trembled. She stepped forward, then stopped, suddenly shy, as though 2 memories were fighting inside her. You came," she whispered. "I knew you would find me." That day, she prepared his favorite meals, recipes unknown to Oyo women but common in Ife. She mentioned their children by name, described their injuries, fears, birthdays. She recalled private disagreements, hidden savings, and secrets she had never shared with anyone but him. Then she revealed something that made the chief's heart beat loudly in his chest. "The money is still under the bedroom floor," she said. "And my jewelry. I hid it in the clay pot behind the clothes. You didn't find that one." Every detail was correct. The story had become too big to ignore. A committee of elders, journalists, and officials was formed. They brought Amara to Ife. The moment she stepped down from the cart, she began giving directions instinctively. "This way," she said confidently. "Turn here. The shop is just ahead." She led them straight to Chief Alyamide's shop, without hesitation, without being guided. Neighbors came out in confusion. Amara greeted each one by name. "You used to borrow Gary from me," she said to one shocked woman. "You were always complaining about your son," she told another. They stared at her like she was a ghost. Inside the house, she walked to a corner. "My child was born here," she whispered. "I died here." She opened the closet, reached behind it, and pointed. "My jewelry is inside that clay pot." They checked. It was exactly where she said. Finally, Chief Alyamide brought out his 3 children, now teenagers. older than Amara by years. The girl who stood before them was tiny, but her eyes were full of a mother's grief. I am sorry, she cried softly. I didn't want to leave you. I tried to stay. The eldest boy burst into tears. The committee recorded everything. Witnesses signed statements. There was no trick, no falsehood, no explanation. The story spread across town. Some said reincarnation was real. Some said the girl was possessed. Some said it was the greatest mystery of their time. But Amara Adeyemi lived quietly afterward. She never married. She never stopped saying she had loved only one man in her previous life. She died decades later, carrying with her a story that generations would still whisper. A soul had returned, and it remembered.